rigged, with the opposition largely prevented from taking part in the media that has controlled the government, that has been controlled by the government and its allies. And in neighboring Congo, the European Union has imposed sanctions on a number of people involved in the fighting in the eastern DRC. They include a spokesman for the M23 rebel movement, Willy Ngoma, and Mr. Ngoma has not yet commented. The M23 are blamed for causing instability and insecurity in the east of the country and carrying out human rights abuses, including sexual violence. The UN has accused the group of killing more than 130 villagers last week. The M23 denied the claim, blaming stray bullets for just 8 deaths. Among those subject to an asset freeze and a travel ban is a senior member of the Congolese army. It is reported that forces under his command carried out attacks against civilians, including rapes, between June and December. Also appearing on the list is a Ugandan accused of being a top leader of the ADF militia group implicated in recruiting rebels, making guns and associating with the militant Islamic State group. In Ghana, the Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta survived a vote of no confidence in Parliament yesterday after the opposition accused him of conflict of interest and incompetence in managing the economy. The West African country is battling its worst cost of living crisis that has seen inflation rise to 40%. The Finance Minister has denied any wrongdoing and has attributed the crisis to the combined impacts of the COVID-19 pandemic and Russia's invasion of Ukraine. In Parliament yesterday, only 136 opposition members of Parliament voted for the motion of no confidence after the majority members of Parliament staged a walkout ahead of the vote. In Mexico, the country says it's considering granting asylum to Peru's former President Pedro Castillo, who was impeached and then accused of rebellion in a dramatic turn of events on Wednesday. Mr. Castillo, who is 53 years old, is now in custody in Lima. His asylum request has been sent to Mexico's president via a lawyer. The two countries are now discussing the issue and say according to Mexican Foreign Minister Marcelo Ebrard, Mr. Castillo was removed from office after he tried to dissolve Congress. Facing an impeachment vote, Mr. Castillo announced he was dissolving the opposition-controlled legislative body. In the Middle East, Iran has announced the first execution of a protester convicted over the recent anti-government unrest. Mohsen Shekari was hanged yesterday morning after being found guilty by a revolutionary court of Moharebeh, as according to state media, the word that means enmity against God. He was accused of being a rioter who blocked a main road in Tehran in September and wounded a member of parliament, a member of the parliamentary force with a machete. An activist said he was convicted after a short trial without any due process. In Europe, the European Union interior ministers have voted to accept Croatia in the 26-nation border-free Schengen zone, but to reject Romania and Bulgaria. The vote was greeted with relief in Zagreb, but anger and dismay in Bucharest and Sofia. Germany's foreign minister said it was a bad. The European Commission had backed all three countries as meeting the criteria necessary for joining the zone, which includes 420 million people. Moving on, a new law is set to be passed by the Scottish Parliament, which will simplify the legal process for anyone in Scotland who wants to change their gender. That the huge issues for people affected who want to relocate in Edinburgh, while others are made by MPs at Westminster. Legislation now in the Scottish Parliament will shorten the timescale for anyone who wants to obtain a gender recognition certificate, a document allowing someone to change their gender on their birth certificate. The US and Russia have exchanged jailed US basketballer star Brittany Griner for notorious arms dealer Victor Bout, held in an American prison for 12 years. President Joe Biden said Griner was safe and on a plane home from the United Arab Emirates. In his speech, he said he was glad to say Brittany is in good spirits and she needs time and space to recover, which he spoke from the White House. Bout, widely known as the Merchant of Death, has arrived back in Moscow, according to Russian media. In the middle of the night, they simply woke him up and said, "Get your things together," and that was it, according to Bout in brief remarks to a reporter from national television after landing in Russia. Well, that brings us to the end of this afternoon's news in brief. Like our sports presenter said earlier on, we are preparing for the riot. Please come and join us from the 17th from the 17th, that's next week, from the 15th to the 17th of December, which is next week. Come and join us and have fun in the presence of God. Bring the young people, bring all those that are on fire for God. They will never remain the same. And also, on Monday, we are having the Christmas Karamoja dinner. Come and join us and be a blessing to the people of Karamoja. Each table goes for 1 million shillings. It's a table of 8 people. You can get your 8 friends who are family, or 8 colleagues at work, or 8 friends, and buy a table and come and be a blessing to the people of Karamoja, and also come and be blessed. Pastor Robert Kayanja will be praying for people, anointing them with oil, and speaking a special blessing to everyone this Christmas. God bless you. Pastor Jessica Kayanja is coming on with the Marriage Now program that you do not want to miss. Enjoy your afternoon.